gentlemen. I have decided to do a stream from the bedroom during the day because I still do not have the settings applied for a more deep stream using 9-year-old Mac computer I have been using for many years, as it is quite a expensive thing to set up studio in Sweden at the moment. I don't know why, but it is like that, and that's the way it do. Further and further away from terrestrial television do I feel like this, because I live in foreign land, so far away from easy times in Ireland. I have just returned from Ireland, and I have to say, infrastructure very shitty. Shitty infrastructure, no easy way to get from Cork City to Mayo. No, afternoon time not happen this easy. Men have to go up to Dublin, over to Ballyhonus, get friend to pick man up, friend called Gavigan. Great man is Gavigan, very strong man. He is henchman to me, and he pick me up after me do gigs in city of Cork. Gigs very well, good times, lot of drinking and merrymaking with well wishers in pub, street. Good times, yes. We have comments here in the comment box. We have Red Armchair Supporter, a boy the Dirk, referring to character's name I have in hit TV show from olden days that called The Box of Howdy. Mr. Fisher, y'all, we want a single. All y'all, we want a single. Fucking, give me in the studio, boys. I'm doing old Christmas special job. This is Health Review. Is it a naughty comment? Uh, any corn fans up on this bitch of a chat? Jonathan fucking Davis, man. Cool. You know what? I never really got into corn. I was into a lot of other new metal, but corn, I just kind of like. I tried to get into them. Freak on a Leash with Simon Cowell. That was about as far as I was gonna go. How are you, Jared O'Connor? Hi, Martin. Just been watching the Hardy Bucks webisodes again. Hope all is good. All's as well as we expected, Jared O'Connor. Fair play to you. What can I say? I'm pretty happy. There are a couple of things I'd like to have, sorted out, but it just feels like that you've got to accept that about life. Unless you get to like fucking Joe Rogan levels, there's always going to be something that is doing you nutting at any given time of being a fully grown man. Living in a fucking cyberdyne industries place of progress and queuing systems as Sweden. But I'm alright, mate. Yeah, I recharged the old Celtic batteries back in Ireland, but I realised, so when you're over here in Sweden, you're like, oh, it'd be fucking great living in Ireland. But there are also, Ireland does have its drawbacks, like, you know. If you could take the best elements of Ireland and the best elements of Sweden, which I think are the bits that are both missing in each country, if you could combine them, you'd be living on fucking heaven on earth. And if you combine the worst elements, it'd be oof, don't even go there. Got into Alice in Chains recently. Great stuff, says Red Armchair Supporter. Oh man, they're fucking brilliant. Brilliant band. Facelift, Jar of Flies, all that. Yeah, they're one of my favourite bands of all time. I only got into them when I was about 21. Uh, there was a girl who I was in school with, Laura Timoney. Big shout out to Laura if you're watching, which you're probably not. She used to listen to a lot of like Pearl Jam and Alice in Chains and that kind of stuff back in art class. And me being in art class, I felt I was a bit of a rebel, stood alone, man. I was like, fuck all that fucking shit. And then a couple of years later, when I got out of school and got into music, then I was like, she was fucking years ahead of her time, as was my younger sister Erin. But good old crack. Uh, Liam O'Reilly, looking well, horse. Thanks very much, Liam. Even though I was going to go to grappling yesterday, and fucking too lazy, man. But saying that though, I was traveling, come back from Ireland. I thought probably good to give the body a break. Land Dormer, how boy the land, man. How are you getting on? Any fucking crack? Any crack? Any scar? I have a Dawes game in 10 minutes. Fucking fair play. Tash is looking class. Sound isn't great. You have to do headphones. My phone is fucked as well. It's like 5 years old. All my technological shit is falling apart, man. Um, you know what? I know Steve Jobs was a bit of a pretentious prick, like, but saying that, as soon as Tim Cook turned up after he died, that's when Apple products started going tits up. Um, it's just like there were basically it was the iPhone, that was it. And now it's like different variations of iPhone, different memory, different RAM, different spec. It's the same as computers, like, so every time I'm looking at such things as computers and phones, like, nah. Tim Cook fucked that up. Everything, nothing's born to last in this day and age, you know. I heard, Red Armchairs Word, I heard of them years ago, but only listened recently. Yeah, they're fucking great, man. Um, Another one I only got into a couple of years ago was Extreme. My mate Andy Wallace told me about 9 years ago. He's like, oh man, fucking Extreme, yeah, Nuno. And I'm like, so you keep talking about these guys. You know about the Greasers, the long hair, sing that love song? And he's like, yeah, that's only the fucking surface, mate. And when I listened to nothing else for about 9 months or 6 months because the shredding ability was just solid. Um, Red Armchairs Board, I heard them on Cardinal Flanagan. What's the crack? Just here after the 10 days in Ireland, which was monumental crack. Uh, there's still a big appetite for the Hardy books. Mike, my brother-in-law, got in touch with, I'm not going to mention names in RTE. You know who you are, and you don't want to give us another series, do you? Everyone else wants it. Apparently, he said scripted comedy is going to be more broad. So, in other words, um, expect more Bridget Neyman and that kind of thing. They're not interested in something that has a very large appeal, but still retains its cult status. Nah, that wouldn't. The metrics on that wouldn't be great. Like, even considering that it has been on Netflix and has gained a wider audience and people who love it. But we'll see. TQ, any crack? Are you going gigging in Manchester on the 30th? Yes, I'll be going with Stevie and Pete over to Manchester. 2 gigs in Liverpool. So for me, right, I'll be back in Liverpool. Do you know, it'll be the first time I've ever done gigs over there, like, and I have to say I'm very excited about it. I will, yeah. I haven't been back over to Merseyside for 10 years, so I'll be going over there and have a good crack with the boys, you know what I mean? I've got to start publicising that soon, like, get people to come over. Lads I went to school with years ago who I ain't seen for time, you know what I mean? Family members over there and things, like. Uh, do you like McCluskey? What's that, Lan? I haven't heard of that before, mate. Class, that sounds like a great time. I will be. Mr. Fisher, I didn't realise you're live. I'm in Malaysia at my son's basketball tournament doing some sneaky drinking on the side. Mr. Fisher, that sounds like something that is great crack. The bit of sneaky drinking just adds a little bit of a je ne sais quoi to the live Spartan event because you need the drinking sometimes. If it is in fact a boring enough event, we will have to talk to other parents about their kids and how to get on with your kids. And oh, that was a great 3-pointer the young buck just got there. Mr. Fisher, if you have a sports bottle filled with gin and tonic, a slice of lemon, and some ice, it could indeed be very beneficial to your endocrine system upon this Wednesday, where you are now evening. Red Armchair supporter, RTE are only interested in you prepared to put the fake mid-Atlantic accent. Yeah, RTE, man. I was watching a trailer there, and fair play to Blind Boy. He's got a series now called Blind Boy Saints and Scholars, and I'm like, good on you, Blind Boy, man. That lad he must be buying mansions down in Saint Tropez. And look at me, I pished it all away, boys. Pished it all away. What can you fucking do? Every dog has his fucking day, boy. I had my 15 minutes of fame, the bastards. I the cunt that I don't know if I should have ever been in the fucking spotlight. I'm too fucking mad for it. I didn't play the game professionally. I grabbed that with two fucking hands and I went on the fucking sauce. Fighting and shagging and fucking talking shite about cunts. The way things should have been. Like, I come from the Ollie Reed, Liam Gallagher, fucking Richard Harris, Peter O'Toole style of conduct. Do you know what I mean? Like, but the business side of it doesn't look at it like that because the business, whether it comes to music or art or entertainment, it's all about business. You think to yourself, it's all about making the music and doing the gigs or doing the performances. It's not. It's about pie chart merchants wanting to ensure the safety of the bottom line, which is net profit for them. The money that they invest into a project needs to be brought back. And if one of their clients that they are promoting starts going off the reservation in terms of conduct or what's said or being arrested for fighting bouncers, these kind of things, or having spicy opinions on social media, then that's not a good look for the consensus. And the consensus is some sort of pyramidical hierarchical system that trickles down from cunts high on above. And all of them can go suck my big fucking fat 7 inchers going right up their fucking arse, man. Man or woman, theoretically, doesn't matter. I'm not actually going to have butt sex with anyone. But what I'm saying is, in terms of hypotheticals, I will somehow threaten this upon them and would have no actual, it just wouldn't happen like. But I like to throw that around like a tough guy. But if the opportunity to present punishment upon some offending parties of these theoretical people I've just made up in my mind because I've had this conversation myself in my brain. If the opportunity came round to mete out physical punishment in terms of sodomy had arisen, I'd be like, ugh, not doing that, man. But I'll give you a few slaps. I hope you enjoyed that for a stream of consciousness beyond the pale of. There are people out there on see, Hardy Book subreddit. Some fucking soft cunt was like, he shouts into the void on Twitter every day, madman stuff altogether. You see, it's if they say there's a fine line between a madman and a genius, right? And I'm not claiming to be either of them. But the only difference between being a madman and a genius is if the general population considers you to be a success or a failure. That's the difference. That is how thin the razor between the two categories is. If you succeed, there's a great saying, right? And it's success has many fathers, but failure is an orphan. So for those of you who might be saying, please do tell me more, Martin. What is the crack with this saying that you have read somewhere in a comment section somewhere online? And I would be like, well, I went and interpreted it because he might myself was wondering what this meant. So success, when you're on the up, let's say you're a boxer, right? You're winning title after title. Everyone's like, I always told him he'd do it. I was there for him. I remember. I always said he'd do it. And next thing, let's say he has a slip up. Like, let's say he punches an old man in a pub, or he's getting done for allegations of sexual assault, this kind of stuff. Then everyone is like, ooh, no, I never liked him, man. Never liked him. Bad bastard, man. No, he's a mess up. Didn't like him. So that's kind of a similar thing between when someone is called a madman or a genius. Uh, the because there are people who are riding very close to the tip of the spear or the the tip of the bleeding edge, should we say? And often is the time people can be too far ahead to be understood until people have then come after them. And then it became popular amongst the general population or the general consensus agreed upon that. But people who are too far ahead of their time, or they would be, and the other thing is success, success and failure are the two factors that would delineate the difference between being a genius and a madman. So hope that was somewhat enlightening. Are you playing Fortnite now, Martin? I did play a bit with the sun, yeah, a bit of crack. I was also playing a game called Callisto Protocol, which was, I think, just a complete rip-off of Dead Space, really, which I didn't play, but then I started watching a bit of Dead Space and realised that they just literally lifted apart from that, which was shoot at their feet, shoot at their legs written in blood, and then in this one it was like shoot at the tentacles written in blood on a wall. I was like, could have been a really good game. That could have been a really great game, but it was a bit repetitive. Also, take a bite off of the loose skin off the lip. Um, yeah, apparently it was like they put like $50 million into the manufacturing of it, and again, pie chart boys at the top were the ones who fucked that up. They were like, we have to get this done quick, gotta get over the line. But I was playing that and I realised that I kept getting killed a lot because the fucking joystick on the PS5 is drifting to the left and it's really annoying. And I bought Resident Evil 4, so me and the young buck can enjoy playing that. It's just unplayable. So I tried to look up these solutions to fix the drifting control pad. Sprayed spray the can there, didn't work. I'm not going to go taking the thing apart because I did that before with a PlayStation controller like 3 times and had to fuck it in the bin. I tell you what, I tell you something that really annoys me in terms of how shit the manufacturing quality is Philips One blades. I don't know if any of you are familiar with that. Be very careful if you go and shaving the flute, lads, because you could pinch the banjo string off lazy or nip the satchel. So be careful with that now when you are peeling back the vulture's collar, or should I say, the the condor's krantz. Let me see what comments have we got here. Lads. Uh, I'm gonna go back up. TQ says, is 3 books left you're doing, or will you be doing a bit of chanting in the pubs and clubs? 3 books left is what I'll be doing. Though chanting in pubs and clubs is probably what I enjoy doing most because there's one thing I'm good at, and that's extolling the virtue of youthful rowdy behaviour in public. Even though some of the gigs I did, I pushed it to the limit with the old pint drinking, and the next day I was like, why am I doing this? Hence why I took a couple of days off to have a good kick to recharge the batteries. Um, but yeah, I'll be doing with 3 books left. Fair play. You know what? I have to say, and if Stevie, if you're watching this, um, a lot of people came up to me in the early days when Steve, Pete, and Salmon started doing the 3 books left. People saying, "Oh, it's really cheeky," and added shite. And I said, you know what? Fair play to the boys because well, they wanted a slice of the pie. They wanted to start gigging. Tordoff was doing his own thing. Colgan was doing his thing, um, and I was trying to get back as regularly as possible from Sweden. And the Hardy Books as a comedy group doing live gigs or television had disbanded. And so when people said to me, "Oh, that's cheeky of what they did," and I was like, "No, it's not." I said, "If that's what they want to do, then fair play to them." And you know what? To be fair to Kelly and Pete, um, especially Steve, he consistently ground it out. Steve has always been a great grafter, a great worker, and he applied that to his comedy. Steve was always a funny lad in school. Steve was always, anytime you mean, what are you having, lads? He always had a great generosity of spirit. He was always sound, and he was into the Doors when we were growing up and appreciated good rock and roll. And I always thought, Stevie Kelly's a fucking legend. And Stevie started supporting me at gigs back in Galway a few years ago, and he would drive up no matter where I was playing. Stevie'd come up and he'd support me, and now I'm supporting Stevie. It's a testament to basically turning up each day, grinding it out, and one thing I've learned is if you're gonna set your mind on something, is you have to start somewhere and you have to do what you can with what you've got, and then eventually you start learning new skills along the way. It's a marathon, not a sprint. And I had a couple of fucking years where things were tough. You've seen this on the video, and I feel like I'm back on my feet. It took me fucking 4 years because my head was fucked. My head was wrecked. We had a divorce, the pandemic, going out of a fucking nutter. Uh, and with all due respect, um, I wasn't really in a place where, the fucking pandemic, man, that was a fucking real kick up the hole. Like that pandemic bullshit fucking ruined me. And then to see people writing about me on fucking Reddit and all these things, going, oh, he's right wing, man, because people called me right wing because I question the motives of governments that do like these fucking clowns are the ones that really do need to wake up to the fact that these appointed leaders, right? And they'll be like, oh, I can see him there talking screaming into the void, saying, oh, he's one of these tinfoil hat fucking conspiracy. No, I'm not, man. I'm not. And I know I'm not. Because all this shit's come to fruition. And it's basically, if stop believing fucking mainstream media, because its job is to just basically keep you in a perpetual state of consent. Like, if you've ever indulged in petty crime, or you've hung out with people who were a bit dodgy into like the world of petty crime or whatever, you or let's say even you've been in trouble in school a lot, you kind of have you develop a kind of a sixth sense for when there's a bit of chicanery afoot, and when people are talking shite. And I've always had a kind of a natural aversion to authority. It's just that's in my fucking DNA. And yeah, like all that shit that happened over COVID. Now it's in court cases in fucking Holland, and RFK is now in as I don't know what the fuck he's doing. He's in, but like it's all coming out, and it all will come out. And you think anybody who spoke out? I mean, these fucking idiots who would have called me like right wing conspiracy theorist, just parroting fucking talking points from sellout assholes in mainstream media that use the public to police each other. And now look at what's happened down in Ukraine. Now like America, and it's not Biden. Biden doesn't know what the fuck is going on. Um, whoever's in the fucking shadows there behind him, allowing Ukraine to strike into Russia. That's insanity, man. Like a pamphlet came through recently, or yesterday, I think it was, in the Post here in Sweden. Crisis eller krig, which means crisis or war. Basically saying there's a good chance we'll be going to war with Russia. And this they had another one of them come through the Post about 5 6 years ago. I opened up the pamphlet and I was like, oh, that's interesting. And as soon as I did that, I heard the sound of like Griffin fighter jets fly overhead, and I was like, oh, what the fuck's going on? Thankfully, nothing. But now, Sweden. Fair play to the Swedes. Like they're good little fucking boys. They threw away their neutrality, and but the good thing is about Sweden is there's a family called the Wallenberg family who owns Saab um, Saab as in the jets and a whole lot of other fucking military contractors that they have, and they wanted to get in there because they manufacture some of the most high-tech weaponry in the world. And if you start selling that to NATO members, when you're in NATO, you have to have the same level or the same equipment in every country. So if you get the contract to, let's say, do tanks, artillery, shells, even stuff down to like tactical equipment that you would wear, someone gets the contract, so it's general issued across all of NATO. So it's a massive money maker. Right now, since 2022, there's a million Slavic men dead. It didn't have to happen, and you know, And on top of that, then you've got the whole shit show kicking off down the Middle East. We're on the precipice of a major fucking world war, and I kind of one half of me just thinks just fucking get it over and done with. And in a weird way, I would probably be all right on some sort of post-apocalyptic wasteland. It would suck, and you could say bye to comforts such as plumbing, healthcare, infrastructure. But on the other hand, you're kind of like every man for themselves, and you then form tribes, and I don't know how it would go. There'd be some sort of martial law kind of lockdown where then basically you kind of like have the army to go against. But people, I don't know. I think maybe I think in a situation where you had to form your own crew or tribe and then coexist, it would be some sort of weird post-apocalyptic fucking feudal age. It could be interesting, but it'd be fucking terrifying as well, and I don't want that to happen. Um, but yeah, thanks to these fucking basically this banking family that own a load of um, I think they own 10% of the GDP of Sweden. They were there. Come on, Finland, Sweden, enter NATO. Great stuff. And so now Sweden is a legitimate target if shit heats up and Russia do decide to retaliate with nukes. Sayonara Kimasabi, and same thing with Ireland. Like you think people are safe in Ireland if they fucking nuke England, the fallout is just going to come and poison people over there too. So I don't know. I don't know. It's foolish and it's insane that there's nobody just saying you gotta stop this. Like, look at that wanker Keir Starmer. He's a fucking cocksucker, man. He's a prick, and like the fact like he was put in there, put in there, he was groomed for the position. They kicked Corbyn out, saying, "Oh, he's an anti-Semite," because what? Because he's basically didn't want to see fucking apartheid down in Palestine, so, and therefore, yeah, they got him out, and fair play, Keir Starmer sent the boys, Netanyahu and the boys, all the money they needed to continue fucking bombing the shit out of the place. So that's my 10 cents on that, lads. International Wrongling says, "Look out, beasts. I've lost everyone. I'm down to 11 viewers. Yeah, sorry for fucking droning on, lads, but that's how it is." Donny the Doomsman was RTE. Morrissey, I can't remember what it was called. Owen, Ticket Tout, Ivor and Damo was alright, but I'm biased towards Rick Mail things. Rick Mail was a genius, man. He was a genius, and he needed a fucking crack towards the end. TQ, will you be doing singing gigs in Manchester, or just the 3 bucks left away? Again, wouldn't mind hearing you sing a few tunes in the pub. I probably could do. Probably could. I just I need to look at the dates, look at the schedule. Maybe I could. We'll see what happens. I might just do the comedy. Like I was gonna do. I did a bit of singing with me good mate Fikra there in Mullingar on Friday night. That was good old crack. So we'll see what the crack is there. But I might just go up and just do the fucking stage crack, man. You know what I mean? Sherlock. It was called Sherlock. Red Arm Stress Bullshit. It's great. Keep it going. Hey, good lad. Carter Flanagan. I saw an interview with Ice Cube, Martin, and they said the same thing to him for questioning things. Yeah, look, the thing is, he like, you know what, as cynical as it is, it boils down to this. Someone's bottom line. It's like, there are criminals out there, but it's white collar crime. If you look at the song by Grandmaster Flash, White Lines, um, you know, paraphrasing, but it basically talks about um, if you're caught with a small bit of coke as a dealer in the song, you're in jail without parole. But a businessman is caught with 25 kilos. He's out of jail and out of bail, and that's the way it goes. So don't do it. So, yeah, like when you're above the law, you are the law. And you got your lobbyist in the USA. You have your weapons manufacturers, you have all the fucking sellout politicians, and it's just like same in Ireland, man. Like your Moderna and Pfizer and AstraZeneca. Oh, by the way, the same crew who I was talking about that were there at the NATO meetings who manufacture the weapons. They also own AstraZeneca. So you think to yourself, how are all these things interlinked? And you realise that all of them have BlackRock, have Vanguard, have like majority share in all of them. But people don't fucking know this because people just want to talk about Man United versus Leverkusen in the fucking fifth round of the Champions League. Which look, I like football as much as the next man, but like, you know, I was in a pub there in Dublin on Thursday, and I heard a lad passionately explaining to the barman about how the Eternals have human DNA in Marvel, and I was like, that's very interesting. Yeah, fair play. Good bit of good bit of fucking knowledge that was. Now you really apply that to the world around us. That the Eternals, fictional characters from a franchise created by Stan Lee. Um, that the Eternals also share human DNA, and I was like, well, that's fantastic. It really is going to stand to him when the fucking nuclear fallout comes over to Dublin, and everyone's going, where are those iodine tablets? And he fucking thyroids in bits. Nobody believes mainstream media anymore, says Landorman. Off the Chuck Arrows, Martin. If you want, if you want to vent, then give me a Skype or a PS party. Good luck. Lenny, you're good skin. Games late and back. Sound, you're back again. Back in the room. Yeah, sometimes it feels like I do talk about. Do you know why I talk about this shit ad nauseum? It's because I care. It's because I have a love for. People say to me like I'm too nice, and I give, like I give people, like even crazy cunts. I give them, too much of myself, and let people in too much, or like I care about people who are fucking. Most people would be like, fuck them off, and I don't know why, but that's how I am. I naturally I'm a nice person, and when you're nice, people do take advantage. But that aside, I care about people. You know what I mean? I care about the world we live in, and I want to leave a better world for the people who come after us. And it's like, and these cynical pricks, but why do you care about people? Like, why? As your man Adam Russo said, like when he met the Rockefeller guy, and he's like, why do you care about these people? Take care of yourself. Fuck, why do you care? Make your money and look after yourself and your family. But it's like, that's why we're in the fucking shit, because of selfish attitudes like that. And, like I know for a fact, right, that if I had repeated mainstream talking points that are popular and had gone against what I feel here, I'd be fucking flying it, man. I'd be making big money now, but I'm not because it's like it wouldn't feel right. You know what I mean? It's like I have my beliefs, and people might think I'm a crazy cunt for thinking like that, but I'd rather at least say the things that I believe to be true, and then at least look myself in the mirror and live a normal life rather than being fucking vaulted on a pedestal to be the spokesperson for the fucking establishment. And like I've always been like that since I was a kid. I've always got into trouble in school for asking questions such as, why do we have to learn this? Like what good is this to us after we finish school? And a lot of it wasn't. I mean, reading, writing, and arithmetic, yeah, essential. But like there's certain other modules that are just like, you know, how do you like? Why didn't we get taught things such as entrepreneurship, or the boring shit like having to pay tax? I probably wouldn't have listened to it, to be honest with you. Like I did business studies for a bit in school, and I was like, this is boring because nobody explained why. Like if you're gonna be a teacher and you're gonna teach kids, you want to teach them why they're supposed to be learning the subject you're teaching them, and how you're gonna apply that in the future. But in our school, nobody did. Home economics was good. I could see a practical reason for home economics because you know you are going to have to be self sufficient and feed yourself, and to be able to cook tasty food for yourself and others is a good skill to have. Woodwork, carpentry, another skill. You're going to need that in a domestic or in a trade profession. Metalwork, again, another handy, like the practical subjects or tools that you can apply. Science, yeah. Also, good. Geography, I enjoy that. English, yeah. And, you know, to be fair, like, I can't really complain about school. It was, yeah, it was me who basically was fucking about. Um, but, I like, some of the teachers didn't really explain what it was they were doing and why we should be learning it. How was the workman's gig? Fucking great crack, man. It was great crack. It was very lad heavy, but the boys that were there, man, it was fucking great crack. But the thing is, as well, uh, Thursday night at 11:30, like it was I kind of realised that it wasn't really like it was a Friday night at 11:30 or a Saturday night, a better time, but that was the only slot they had at the time. Um, but it was fucking good old crack, and then off to Mullingar the next day. Uh, Red Armchair Supporter. Did you like the band Bush? I never really got into them, but I know Swallow was the only one that I remember. Everyone done the right thing, got themselves a Bitcoin. Yeah, fucking sold them at the beginning of the year. Fuck it. What are you gonna do? Yeah, you know what? Even if Bitcoin's great, I'm just like, actually, my mate Andy was saying Revolut's the best thing for buying that kind of stuff on, because you know what? Never again, never ever again am I going to use fucking Coinbase, whether it's Coinbase Pro or the regular one. That fucking app sucks balls, man. If I do get into crypto again, I'll be doing it through Revolut. Ah, Melody Pugh, how are you doing, love? Hey up, how are you getting on? Long time no see. Bush have other stuff as well, hey. Yeah, well, you know what? I'll give them a listen upon your recommendation. But yeah, that was me kind of venting a bit about the world around me. I mean, hopefully nothing comes of it. But I don't think we've ever been as close to a fucking shitstorm as since the Cuban Missile Crisis. To be quite honest with you, Lucas Soltero, hi Durkin from California. Are you up at night? Are you? You still up late at night? What are you doing over in California? You enjoying the crack yonder? Yeah. Um, I did a TikTok live on Wednesday night. Fuck me, man. I had like 350 people watching live, and I was like nearly 400, and I was like, fair old fucking crowd, man. But then again, I have like 27,000 followers. Why is it so difficult to get followers on YouTube? I don't get it, man. Is it probably? I'd say some of the material that I come out with is probably picked up by algorithms and that. You know, 5 in the morning. Ha 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 ha. Are you awake in the morning, or are you still up at night? That is the question. We've both been there on many occasions, man. But what do you think of the Jake Paul Mike Tyson fight? Kind of something didn't add up there, man. Something didn't. If I'm totally fucking honest, right, I reckon it was fucking rigged. Because Mike Tyson's face when he was leaving the ring kind of looked like a bit of the old pride. That Sting is pride fucking with you. And look, there's a few things I seen of Jake Paul had the left hand down, and Tyson had had an open shot of his jaw, didn't take it, pulled punches, and I think like yeah, it pains me to say, man, it fucking pains me to say, but I reckon he took the money. And look, you can't blame him in one sense, but on the other hand, had he have just fucking knocked him out, he could have rode the tide of popular sentiment, and you know he would have made money elsewhere. A very Hollywood fight, says Soltero. Yeah, Paul will want to fight Joe Biden next. Yeah, looking Jake Paul versus Dick Van Dyke in the fight of the century. Yeah, I mean the Katie Taylor fight was fucking crazy. I mean, like you see that fight, which was insane, and then the Jake Paul fight afterwards. I was just, like, watched the 8 rounds. I was just like, what's going on here? Like, I was like, you got Tyson, who's just standing there, just beyond the reach, and you're like, I saw the training videos of Tyson. Like, it's like I said in that Instagram video I did yesterday. It's like people saying, "Oh, Tyson, man, yeah, he's 58, he's too old," and it's like, okay, if you take a 1968 Mustang GT and you refurbish it, like basically the analogy there is um, Tyson has the hardware, his natural composition as an athlete, as a man, combined with muscle memory from everything he's learned through amateur and professional boxing over the years, with a new lease of life, with this new comeback. Like the guy is a fucking animal, man. And Jake Paul, yeah, I was talking to Gavigan about this. He's like, he's not a boxer. I went, well, by definition, he is going into rings, he is selling fights, and he is having boxing matches. But I do think, like, on pound for pound, if it was a fight that was allowed to go and take its natural course, I think Tyson would have fucking his home, man. Um, so, what do you think in the chat? Do you agree? Your sound is fucked. How bad is the sound? Like, what are we talking about with the sound? Is it like crackling or what? Someone just gives a comment there because if it sounds really bad, I'm just fucking wasting my time here, lads. Hey, you know what? Like, I fucking would. If there's a payout and it gave me a nice excuse to get into super shape. I mean, like, I've been doing martial arts and boxing as a interest for 17 years. I mean, like, if you got on the end of a fucking right hook, you'd know about it. I tell you that for nothing. But like, if there was some way of getting that going, yeah, I'd fucking do it, man. We call it Ireland versus Jake Paul. The sound that is. Oh, there's a buzz, but it's grand. Yeah, this phone's fucked, man. The microphone, or it's had a few knocks, man. It's had a few knocks. It's time to bite the bullet and get a new blower. I've held on to this for a good while, but that's the way it goes, man. I'm gonna have to get myself a new phone because yeah, the quality's fucked. It's doing me head in, but I just haven't got round to doing it yet. But waiting to see it. Did you watch Gladiator 2? I didn't. I have a friend called Chi Parry who's in that. Um, any good, is it? Ridley Scott job. He said, "I'm just glad he didn't get a heart attack." Yeah, he's in fucking great shape, man. A 58-year-old man. I mean, it should inspire a lot more of us to get back in and getting fit. I suppose if you're getting paid millions to do it, then that's another fucking story. You know what I mean? But I think this wraps up the chat, ladies and gentlemen. Saw better fights in the ball alley in Castletown, hey. You're dead right, hey. You're dead fucking right. Yeah, some of what I said probably didn't make sense because I went off on stream of consciousness and tangents, as usual, part of the course. But a lot of what I said, I do think from weighing up things that have just basically having a fucking brain and a bit of cop on. Um, I do think what I say has weight to it. But I do, like I said earlier on, there's a bottom line out there with a lot of shysters who are making millions, if not billions, and they're getting away with it. And you know, if you were making that kind of money, you wouldn't want it to come to an end either. You know, you'd be wanting to buy massive villas and mega yachts and private jets and all that shit. Like you know, it's once you get accustomed to that kind of a lifestyle and the power that goes with it, it'd be a very difficult thing to give up. Especially if you also had to go to jail and have all of those assets seized. It wouldn't be optimal now. So you'd want to stay up on. And you know the crack as well, like with shit houses like that. It's like, well, if we don't, if we're not doing it, someone else will. So we'll continue to monopolize this and put everyone under a fucking yoke of compound interest and inflation and taxation. You saw a bit of face in the ball earlier. That I fucking did. Was that to do with Gladiator 2 or Jake Paul? That's the fucking cape. I know we're at 46. I'll try and get another. I'll get another stream in before the end of the week, lads and ladies, and we'll have the crack. I'll get the proper setup with the microphone next time and do it from the computer. Um, but we'll do a touch. We'll do a touch. Nice to see you and enjoy the rest of your day. And yeah, leave a comment if you're watching this later on. Leave a comment in the description about topics that you would like me to cover on the next stream, and I'll fucking do that for you. Hey, fucking do that for you. Hey, and if you're around Liverpool or Manchester at the end of the month, we will be doing two gigs: the Irish Centre in Liverpool, Hot Water in Liverpool, and I haven't even looked at the dates in Manchester yet, but I will have to get promoting them. And also, myself and the lads are going to New Zealand and Australia in March to do a tour down there as well. So, if you're watching from Australia, we will be in Perth, Melbourne, Sydney, Brisbane, Auckland, Christchurch, and a few other places over New Zealand, mate. So that'd be good crack. Get in and make a fucking few quid, have a laugh, meet the fucking homesick expats down there. Maybe meet some Aussie hard men. See what the crack is, have a few twoies. But until then, I'll talk to you later. Good looking, good bless to you.